Are you actually ready for IELTS listening, or are you just hoping for the best? There's only one way to know for sure. Take this full-length practice test with me right now. It's built to the exact standard that's helped my students in 20-plus countries achieve Band 8+. I'm talking real exam difficulty, real timing, real question types. Download the transcript and answers in the PDF below, and let's see where you really stand. No fluff, no easy questions, just you, the test, and the truth about your current level. Ready? Let's begin. Section 1. Questions 1 to 10. You will hear a conversation between a customer and a car rental company employee discussing a vehicle booking. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10. Pause for 30 seconds. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 10.
Good afternoon, Swift Car Rentals. This is Marcus speaking. How may I help you?
Hello, yes. I'd like to book a car for next weekend, please.
Certainly. What type of vehicle are you looking for?
I need something with plenty of boot space. An estate car would be ideal. We're going camping with the family.
Perfect. When would you like to collect the vehicle?
On Friday the 16th, if that's available.
Yes, we have availability. And what time would you like to return it?
We'll bring it back Sunday evening around 7 o'clock.
Lovely. May I take your name, please?
It's Robert Henderson. That's Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Will anyone else be driving the vehicle?
Yes, my wife Claire will also be driving.
Right. We'll add her as an additional driver. Now, regarding insurance, we offer basic cover included in the price, or you can upgrade to comprehensive protection for an extra fee.
What does the comprehensive option include?
It covers accidental damage, windscreen repair, and theft with no excess charge.
That sounds sensible. I'll take the comprehensive cover.
Excellent choice. The rental rate is £45 per day, and with the insurance upgrade, that brings it to £58 daily.
That's fine. Do I need to pay a deposit?
Yes, we require a refundable deposit of £200, which we'll hold on your credit card.
No problem. I assume I'll need to show my driving license?
Absolutely. How long have you held your license?
Just over 12 years now.
Perfect. That meets our requirement. Where would you like to collect the car from? We have branches at the city center and the airport.
The airport would be more convenient, actually.
Great. Finally, do you need any additional equipment, child seats, roof box, that sort of thing?
Could you include a satellite navigation system? We're not familiar with the area.
Of course. I'll add that to your booking at no extra charge. You're all set, Mr. Henderson. We'll see you on the 16th at the airport branch.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
End of Section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Pause for 30 seconds. Section 2. Questions 11 to 20. You will hear a radio presenter giving information about a community festival taking place in Wellington Park. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 20. Pause for 30 seconds. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 20. Now look at the map and questions 15-20. Pause for 20 seconds.
Good morning, listeners. I'm delighted to tell you about the upcoming Wellington Park Festival, happening this Saturday and Sunday. Now, in its 5th year, this event has become a real highlight in our community calendar, bringing together residents from across the region to celebrate what makes our neighborhood special. The festival's main goal is to strengthen community connections and showcase local talent. This year promises to be bigger and better than ever. We've got something for everyone. Live music from local bands, craft workshops, children's entertainment, and a fantastic selection of food vendors. Whether you're 5 or 95, you'll find plenty to enjoy. One significant change from previous years is the addition of a second performance stage. Last year we had just one stage, which meant some acts had to perform back-to-back, with barely any time for setup. This year, with 2 stages operating alternately, there'll be continuous entertainment throughout both days. Now, a quick word about getting there. The park is located right in the town center, but parking will be extremely limited due to the number of visitors we're expecting. We strongly recommend using public transport. There are regular bus services running every 15 minutes from the train station, and they'll drop you right at the park entrance. Let me walk you through the festival layout so you can plan your visit. When you enter through the main gates at the southern end, you'll immediately see the main stage directly ahead of you. That's marked as C on your map. This is where our headline acts will perform throughout the weekend. If you head to your right from the entrance, you'll find the food court, which is situated near the children's playground. That's location B on the map, and it'll feature everything from traditional fish and chips to Thai cuisine and wood-fired pizzas. For families with young children, the activity zone is on the opposite side of the path, near the duck pond. That's marked as F. There'll be face painting, bouncy castles, and storytelling sessions running all day. Safety is always our priority, so we've positioned the first aid tent in a central location, right next to the information kiosk. You'll find that at point E on your map. Our trained volunteers will be on hand throughout the festival. If you or your little ones misplace anything, head to the Lost Property booth, which is located close to the main stage, near the flower gardens. That's position D on the map. Finally, for those interested in learning something new, our workshop area is set up on the northern side of the park, beside the old oak tree. That's location A. We'll be offering sessions in pottery, watercolor painting, and even bread making. The festival runs from 10 in the morning until 8 in the evening on both days, and admission is completely free. We hope to see you there.
End of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Pause for 30 seconds. Section 3, questions 21 to 30. You will hear two postgraduate students, Marcus and Yuki, discussing their dissertation proposals with their supervisor, Dr. Patterson. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 30. Pause for 30 seconds. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 30. Now look at questions 26 to 30. Pause for 20 seconds.
Good afternoon, both. Thank you for sending through your draft proposals. I've had a chance to review them, and I think we've got some promising research directions here. Marcus, shall we start with yours?
Sure. My research examines the relationship between screen time and sleep quality among university students. I'm planning to track participants' device usage and sleep patterns over a 4-week period using wearable technology and self-reported diaries.
It's certainly a timely topic given how prevalent sleep problems are among students. However, I'm concerned about your sample. You've mentioned recruiting from first-year business students exclusively. Don't you think that's quite a narrow demographic?
I see what you mean. I suppose limiting it to one faculty might affect how generalizable the findings are.
Exactly. I'd recommend expanding your recruitment to include students from at least 3 different faculties. That way you'll have more diversity in terms of academic demands and lifestyle patterns.
That makes sense. I'll revise that section.
Good. Now, Yuki, I noticed you've changed your topic since our last meeting. What prompted that decision?
Well, I was originally looking at consumer behavior in online retail, but when I started investigating the available data, I realized most companies won't share that level of detail due to commercial sensitivity. My new focus is on sustainability attitudes among young professionals. I can gather primary data through interviews and surveys instead.
That's a pragmatic choice. It also aligns better with your background in environmental studies.
Actually, I'm planning to run a pilot study with about 10 participants before launching the full research. I want to test whether my questionnaire captures the information I need.
Excellent idea. That should help you identify any issues early on. Make sure you build in time for adjustments afterwards.
Dr. Patterson, I'm slightly worried about my timeline. I've allocated 3 months for data collection and 1 month for analysis, but I'm wondering if that's realistic for conducting 20 in-depth interviews.
You're right to flag that. Transcribing and analysing qualitative interviews is incredibly time-consuming. I'd suggest allowing at least 6 weeks for the analysis phase, possibly longer if you're doing thematic coding.
I'll adjust that in my revised proposal.
Now, regarding ethics approval, have either of you submitted your applications yet?
Not yet. I was planning to do it after we finalise the methodology.
Don't leave it too late. The committee meets monthly, and you'll need approval before you can begin recruiting participants. I'd recommend submitting by the end of this week.
I'll prioritise that.
Yuki, for your interviews, you mentioned wanting to access some historical data from the university archives about previous sustainability initiatives. Have you made contact with the archives team?
Not yet. I wasn't sure of the process.
I'll help you arrange that. They're usually very accommodating, but you'll need to book a time slot in advance.
That would be really helpful, thank you.
One final thing. I think it would be beneficial for us to have regular check-ins while you're both in the data collection phase. Shall we schedule weekly meetings for the next 2 months?
That works for me.
Yes, definitely. It'll help keep us on track.
Perfect. Send me your revised proposals by Friday and we'll touch base next week.
End of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Pause for 30 seconds. Section 4. Questions 31 to 40. You will hear a university lecture on the architecture of ancient Rome. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Pause for 30 seconds. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to explore one of the most influential architectural traditions in human history, the architecture of ancient Rome. The Romans were master builders, and their innovations continue to shape the way we design and construct buildings more than 2,000 years later. Let's begin with what made Roman architecture so revolutionary. While earlier civilizations built impressive structures using stone blocks, the Romans developed something that would transform construction forever: concrete. By combining volcanic ash with lime and water, they created a material that was not only incredibly strong, but also relatively inexpensive and versatile. This allowed them to construct buildings on a scale that had never been seen before. Perhaps the most spectacular example of Roman concrete engineering is the Pantheon in Rome, completed around 125 AD. Its dome spans more than 43 meters and remains the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world even today. The fact that it's still standing after nearly 19 centuries is a testament to Roman engineering skill. Now let's look at some distinctive features of Roman architecture. One element you'll see repeatedly is the column, borrowed from the Greeks but adapted by the Romans for both structural support and decorative purposes. Romans developed their own column styles and used them extensively in temples, public buildings, and private villas. Another signature feature is the arch. While arches existed before the Romans, they perfected their use in construction. Roman arches appear in bridges, aqueducts, and monumental gateways throughout the empire. The arch allowed them to span large distances and support enormous weight, which was essential for their ambitious building projects. Roman public architecture served a dual purpose. Yes, these buildings were functional. They housed government offices, courts, and markets. But they were also designed to project imperial power and demonstrate Rome's superiority. Grand facades, imposing columns, and intricate decorative elements all sent a clear message about Roman dominance. Let's now turn to one of Rome's most iconic structures, the Colosseum. This massive amphitheater was completed in the year 80 AD, during the reign of Emperor Titus. It could hold somewhere between 50 and 80,000 spectators, though most historians agree the number was closer to 50,000. What's particularly fascinating about the Colosseum is its sophisticated engineering. Beneath the arena floor was an elaborate network of tunnels and chambers, what we call the hypogeum. This underground system housed gladiators, animals, and stage equipment. Mechanical lifts could raise scenery and participants up to arena level, creating dramatic entrances that amazed spectators. The Colosseum also demonstrates Roman expertise in crowd management. Multiple entrances and carefully designed staircases allowed tens of thousands of people to enter and exit efficiently. Some estimates suggest the entire building could be emptied in less than 10 minutes, a remarkable achievement for a structure of that size and era. The influence of Roman architecture extends far beyond the ancient world. During the Renaissance, architects looked back to Roman principles of proportion, symmetry, and grandeur. This revival, often called Renaissance architecture, dominated European building design for centuries. You can see Roman influence in countless government buildings, churches, and monuments built between the 15th and 19th centuries. Even today, modern architects continue to draw inspiration from Roman techniques. Concrete remains our most widely used building material. The principles of the arch appear in contemporary bridge design, and the Roman emphasis on combining functionality with beauty continues to guide architectural thinking. In conclusion, Roman architecture represents one of humanity's great creative achievements, a perfect synthesis of engineering innovation, aesthetic vision, and practical purpose. The buildings they left behind are not just historical artifacts. They're active participants in our ongoing conversation about what architecture can achieve.
End of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Pause for 30 seconds. That is the end of section 4. You now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Subscribe so you don't miss 2 videos I release weekly. All the best in your preparation.